ready to go.
Thanks for doing sunrise too.
Of course, it is. I really don't think there's any better way to start the day than moving and intention. Okay, let's see. It's all working, guys.
Yeah.
How amazing. Okay. Go ahead and find a comfortable seat. We'll get started there. Settle yourself in, find those sits bones nicely pressed against the earth. Find a comfortable position for your legs. Just, if you're comfortable, you can shut down your eyes. And just let yourself come into this space. You already did the hard part of getting here at 6:30, so well done. Now you just get to enjoy yourself for the next hour. Like I was saying, I really do find morning yoga to be a really magical practice. I think there's something about starting your day with intention and movement and energy, and I think it can really transform how we bring ourselves into the world and into the situations that we find ourselves in each day. And so by breathing and moving our bodies and allowing that energy to flow and infusing a little bit of intention into it, we can really set our path for the day, or certainly set out how we want to respond. We can't change what's going to show up in the world. Ganesha helps us out with that, bringing us our obstacles and our opportunities. We can choose how we respond, how we react or respond. I was saying, we want to respond, not react, right? Have that pause, that mindful gap. And so this morning as we practice, can we respond to ourselves as opposed to react when we come into a posture or try a position or do a breath work or warble during our chanting? Can we pause and just respond to ourselves with love and care and compassion the same way that we would for a friend or a loved one? And can we bring that energy into our day? And so let's take a deep breath together, inhaling big and exhaling out of the mouth. We'll do that 2 more times. Big exhale. Release it all. 1 more. Big inhale. Exhale it all out. And if there's anything that you're kind of holding in your mind or that's occupying your space, just take a moment and mentally take those thoughts and just set them in the room with your shoes and your bags and your jacket. Those thoughts will be there for you when we're done with this class. But for this morning, let's invite our minds to connect with our hearts and be present in this moment. And so we'll start with some Samavri deep breath, square breath, to balance ourselves, create that space, maybe hold a nice space that we create with that square breath. So square breath, you inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. I'll guide you the whole way. You don't have to worry, just listen to the cues and we ought to be okay. So let's start together. Exhale out all that air. And then inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. Good job. Keep going. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Now you can release that and just continue breathing on your own. Feeling for any difference that change in breath work might have created. And then we'll open practice with 3 rounds of Om. If that's in your practice. If you don't chant, that's okay as well. You can just enjoy the vibration. So we'll do a cleansing breath and then we'll inhale to chant. So inhale together, exhale it all out, and inhale to chant. Before we begin our physical practice and a little more movement, bring your mind into your heart space and open up to an intention. Maybe you already have a sankalpa that you're working with, and that's great. Maybe you just want to set an intention for the day. I respond. I'm calm, I'm kind, I'm healthy. Whatever energy you want to carry this morning, place it in a positive affirmation type word, color, sound, whatever resonates with you. And just let that sit and guide your practice. It's also a really lovely thing if those thoughts that we set outside start to come back in a little bit. You can just say, well, thank you so much. I'll be back in a minute, and then come back to your intention to keep that focus and that energy. On your next inhale, let's raise our arms up overhead, reaching to the sky, wiggle those fingers, maybe give it a little shimmy up the spine, just see how you're feeling today. Then on your exhale, let's drop that right hand to the earth, and I don't mirror, so I will be opposite of you guys. And reach that right arm up overhead, creating that space. Keep that left sit bone down to the ground. And then inhale, we'll switch sides, drop that left hand down, reaching that right arm overhead, keeping that right sit bone to the earth. Inhaling and exhaling into that side body. Then we'll inhale, arms up overhead, cactus those arms, open that heart to the sky, let that intention shine. Then inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, we'll forward fold over the hips. Inhale and exhale. And on the next inhale, we'll press ourselves back up into a seat. Go ahead and switch the cross of that legs, probably bringing yourself into the awkward way that you sit, not the standard. And we'll just run through that stretching series again. So inhale, arms up overhead, Drop that right arm down, reaching the left overhead, really stretching into that side body. And then inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, drop that left, stretching the opposite side. And then inhale, arms up overhead, exhaling to cactus, opening that heart, really rolling those shoulder blades down the back. Inhale brings us up overhead, and exhale brings us into that forward fold. And inhale, we'll press ourselves up to a seat. Feel that nice tall spine. And then take that left hand and place it on the right knee. Find that right hand behind you. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and then exhale into the twist. Inhale and exhale here. We'll stay for one more. And inhale brings you back through center again, and grab that other knee, reverse the twist, left hand behind. Inhale to elongate the spine, and then exhale to deepen into the twist. Inhale and exhale here. One more setting. And then we'll inhale back to center. Let's bring those legs out in front of us. Kind of give them a little bounce. We can sit and cross-legged for a minute, rock on the hips a little. Then let's bring that right leg into the center. You don't have to worry about like touching it to the leg. You actually just want a little more space within the pelvic bowl. And we'll inhale the arms up overhead, and then turn our chest towards that extended leg, and then leading with the chest all the way down. Let your hands fall beside your leg, on your shin, maybe to the foot if you're feeling flexy this morning. Just inhale and exhale here. Inhale, lift yourself just enough so that you can set that left arm on top of your leg. We'll open the chest and reach that arm up over, endeavoring towards the toes, probably not getting there. Inhale and exhale here. And then we'll inhale back up to center, swap out those legs and do the other side. So inhaling those arms up overhead, rotating that chest towards the knee, and then forward fold over that leg, letting the head drop towards the knee. Inhale and exhale here. And then on the next inhale, just come up enough to let that right arm drape over the leg, and then reach that left arm up overhead, turning the chest open, reaching up and over. Inhaling and exhaling here. And let's reach up overhead. Bring both those legs out in front of you. Give a little room for those sits bones. We'll inhale, arms up overhead, and really leading with the chest, we'll come into that forward fold. Inhale, kind of give it a halfway lift, lift that chest up to elongate, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift those arms up overhead, release them down to the earth, give those legs a little wiggle, and then we'll come up into our tabletop position. You can feel free to pad those knees with a blanket. I enjoy that. And place those hands so that they're underneath your shoulders and elbows. Bring your knees under your hips for that nice stable position. You don't want to be too far away from each other so you're kind of out like that. You don't want to be too close. Just kind of right in that 90 degree. And then we'll inhale together, drop that belly, roll the shoulder blades back into a cow position. Exhale, tuck the tail and curl the spine up towards the sky. Again, we'll inhale into that cow position and exhale into cat. Really tucking the belly button, tucking the chin, stretching that spine. One more time, we'll inhale into cow pose and exhale into cat. And then when you come back to your tabletop, let's bring that right leg back, press the toes into the earth, and just a little bit of kriya, a little bit of movement, kind of open up the back of that calf at the bottom of the foot. And then find stillness, just pressing back into that heel. You can release that pressing and lift that leg behind you so that it's parallel to the floor. And then reach the left arm up and out into that balancing bird dog. Inhale here, exhale, we'll bring the knee to the elbow underneath, similar to kind of that cat-cow undulation in the spine. Just adding a little balance, and we'll keep going with our breath here. Inhaling extends, exhaling brings the elbow and knee together. One more time, we'll inhale, exhale, tuck, inhale, extend, and then exhale, we'll set everything back down. Now we'll go to the other side. So take that left foot all the way back, plant those toes to the earth, really flexing into that calf and bottom of the foot. And then just press back into the heel for a moment. And then release that pressure and lift that foot up parallel to the earth. Bring that right arm forward, and we'll do that elbow to knee tuck. So inhale to extend, exhale, tuck knee to elbow. Inhale to extend, exhale, tuck that knee to elbow. One more time, inhaling, exhaling, tuck that knee to elbow. Inhale to extend, and then exhale, set everything back down. Now place the hands just a few inches out in front of you and tuck those toes, curl up and back into downward facing dog. Perhaps the first one of the day, nice inversion. Starts to get our head below the heart. And pedal those heels, continuing to open up the feet and ankles and calves. Press those heels down and really lift up into the hip and the sacrum, feeling the space that this pose creates there. In fact, let's step our feet out to the outer edges of the mat and maybe forward a few inches into wide-legged downward facing dog. This really accentuates that space that this pose creates in the sacrum and pelvic bowl area. Really lifting the pelvis and feeling that space. And then look towards the top of the mat and gently walk yourself all the way up into a forward fold. Hang here for just a moment longer. And even maybe sway side to side, swishing your path, sort of like the trunk of Ganesha, clearing and placing our obstacles for us. And then find stillness here. Release everything. And then bend those knees deeply and roll all the way up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. Until you get to the top, you can roll those shoulders back and set that head on top of the crown. Maybe give a few shoulder rolls to the back. And then find yourself in stillness here in this strong mountain pose. First standing pose of the class. Really feel those four corners of your feet. Maybe roll them side to side and forward and back. Our feet are magnificent. They're so complex. They help us travel and stay upright. And then find that grounded space where your feet feel firmly planted. You can feel the lift in that arch. Feel that energy coming up from earth all the way through the legs, through the knees and the hips, up into the core, up through the heart, into your arms, through the shoulders, lifting the neck and the crown of the head. Come back to your intention here. Now the next inhale, let's bring our arms up overhead. Let's clasp that left arm with the right and do a little side body stretch. And then we'll inhale back to center, switch the clasp and go the other way. Inhale to center, exhale, we'll cactus those arms, rolling those shoulder blades back and under the heart. Inhale and exhale, we'll forward fold all the way to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Take an inhale here, and let's bring that right leg all the way back into a runner's lunge. Keep that heel lifted. This is a great spot to grab your blocks to create a little bit more room for yourself in this lunge position. And then let's just do a little bit of that Kriya movement. So we'll inhale our lunge and then exhale, straighten that leg. And then just move in and out of that, feeling how your hips feel. And you'll notice that left side gets a good hamstring stretch, get back of the leg. Right hip gets nice hip flexor stretch. Just see how that's feeling. Next time you're elongated, let's just hang here, draw that left hip back with the knee draw towards the knee. Next inhale, bring us back to that lunge pose. Let's take that block in the right hand and bring it to the more stable low position. Place your hand on it. And then we'll open that left arm up to the sky. Really reach, wiggle those fingers, maybe give the wrist a roll one way and then the other. And then let's backstroke, give that a little swim all the way around. Sorry, my back is too And then next inhale, we're up at the top, give it another good stretch. And then place those hands back to the earth. Bring that left foot back to meet the right. Here we are in plank, everyone's favorite. You've got this, you're strong. Inhale and then exhale, knees, chest, chin, all the way down to the earth. Inhale up through cobra, roll those shoulders back, lift the chest. Exhale all the way down. And then inhale, exhale, meet back into downward facing dog. Again, pedal those feet. Maybe press the heart towards the earth. Shake that head, yes and no, to make sure you're not holding anything in the cervical spine. And then take a peek up to the top of your mat and gently walk all the way up into a forward fold again. We'll hang that forward fold for just a breath. Then deeply bend those knees again. Let's roll all the way up to standing. Roll those shoulders back, set the head on top of the spine. Into that standing mountain pose again. Just one breath here to remember our intention. Become present. Then we'll inhale, arms up overhead. Clasp that left arm. We'll lean over and stretch that side body. Next inhale, we come back up. Switch that clasp over to the other side. Next inhale brings us back up. Cactus those arms. Really open that heart to the sky. Inhale brings our arms back up. Exhale, we're forward folding all the way to the earth. Inhale, we halfway lift, extend that spine. Exhale, use that leg to deepen your forward fold. Inhale here, exhale, we'll bring that, we'll use the opposite leg, the right leg, I believe. Yep, the right leg all the way back. Nope, left leg all the way back. Jeez Louise. Yeah, left leg all the way back, sorry about that. Bring those blocks in again for that space, and then we'll do that Kriya movement with the lunge, bending straight in that front leg. Feeling that movement in our hips. And the next time that leg is straight, let's just hang out there, feel that stretch on the back of that right hip as it draws back. Then inhale back into our lunge, and then let's drop that left block down to that more stable setting. Place your hand there and open up. Here, give a good reach, roll that wrist around one way and then the other. And then we'll give that shoulder another little opening. So rotating back, stroking around in a circle here. Opening up that shoulder. And our next inhale at the top, let's give it a nice good stretch again. Exhale, we'll bring that hands down to the earth. Bring that right foot back to meet the left. In plank, inhale here. Exhale down, knees, chest, chin, all the way to the earth. Sink through into that cobra. Lifting shoulders, rolling back. Exhaling down. And we'll meet back in child's pose just for a moment. Coming into some grounding energy. Toes are together, knees are spread aside. Our hips are pressing towards the heels. Forehead is pressed into the earth. Letting that third eye connect. You're going to roll your head side to side, gently massaging that third eye into the earth. Take one more inhale and exhale here. And then we'll press those hands into the earth, tuck the toes, and find our way into downward facing dog. We'll inhale that right leg up to the sky, really lifting that heel to the sky. Give the ankle a little rotation one way, and then the other, opening up that joint. Bend and straighten the knee a couple times. Next time it's bent, keep it there and open up that hip socket a little bit, just drawing circles with that knee in the sky to move the hip joint around, move the femur around in your hip joint. And then inhale that heel back up to the sky. We'll do a knee to nose tuck on the exhale, tucking that knee into the chest. Inhale, bring that leg back up into the three-legged dog. Exhale, we'll come all the way through into the lunge, and this time we'll settle into our warrior two pose. So we want that front leg facing straight up toward the top of the mat. Back leg is at a 90 degree. The arch of the back foot lines up with the heel of the front. Our hips are pointing to the side of the mat while we keep that front knee over the ankle. Arms come up over. Welcome to warrior two. Inhale and exhale here. Inhale, bring that right elbow to the knee. Left arm reaches up overhead into extended side angle. Really feeling that extension all the way from the pinky edge toe of the left foot to the fingers. Reaching and extending on the left hand. We'll inhale back up into warrior two. Flip that right palm and throw that arm up overhead into reverse warrior. Your hand can be wrapped around the back into the bind or down the leg. Deepen into that lunge and really reach back with that right arm. Feeling the space in the side body. Inhale brings us back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Inhale, reach all the way forward, reach for triangle, and then drop down. Keeping yourself flat here. Yeah, hand can be on the block or the shin. Reaching that top hand, open the throat. Inhale brings us back up. Bend that knee again. Inhale here. Exhale, windmill those arms down to either side of that right foot. Bring it back into plank. We'll go through our vinyasa. So knees, chest, chin into the earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale down to the earth. And you meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale here. Then we'll inhale that left leg up to the sky. Really reaching with that left heel. Roll that ankle around one way. And then the other. And bend that knee a couple times just to start to open that joint up. Next time it's bent. Give a couple knee circles in one way, and then the other. And then reach that heel all the way to the sky as high as you can. Inhale, exhale, knee to chest, we'll tuck. Inhale, left leg back up to the sky. And then exhale, we'll come all the way through into our lunge. And we're dropping into warrior two on this side. So bring that right foot to the 90 degrees. Align with the back of the mat. Front heel should align with that arch. Hips endeavor to the side of the mat while keeping that left knee facing forward. Arms up to the sides. Inhale and exhale. Warrior two on this side. Inhale, exhale brings that left elbow down to the left knee. Right arm up overhead, extended side angle. Pressing and into that foot, feeling that extension through the right arm. Inhale all the way back up to warrior two. Flip that front palm. Exhale, throw that overhead into reverse warrior. Again, the arm can be around the back or down the back leg. Deep in that lunge and really reach with those left fingertips overhead. Inhale brings us back up to warrior two. Straighten that left leg. Inhale, exhale, reach. Setting up for triangle. Dropping down. Try to keep elongation and space in both sides of the ribs on this pose. If that means you need to come out a little bit, that's okay. And then release the head just a tad to open the throat. Inhale brings us back up to our warrior pose. Inhale here. Exhale, windmill those hands down on either side of the left foot. Bring that left foot back to meet the right. We'll flow through our vinyasa. Inhale, exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale all the way down, and we'll meet in child's pose. Again, catch a breath here, big toes together, knees wide apart. Letting the chest fall between the thighs. And feeling that heart facing and connecting down to Mother Earth. Asking her to help me provide intention today. Okay, let's tuck those toes, press ourselves back into downward facing dog once more. Let's lift that right leg up to the sky. And then exhale, bring it forward to come into pigeon. So that right knee comes outside that right hand. Set down the opposite leg. Before we settle down, make sure that you can lift that chest open to the sky. We look one way and then the other. Make sure we've got lots of room. And then we can exhale, leaning forward. This is another great place for blocks under the head, any level. You can also stack your hands, one fits on the other, or palms on the other. And we'll just settle in here for a few breaths. Similar to our feet, our pelvic bowl is an incredible weave and mesh of bones and ligaments and musculature, finding their way, wrapping around to give us this unique upward posture. One of the beautiful things about our yoga practice is it really does focus on these areas where so many things come together to help us release and bring energy there. Breathing into the head, being gentle with what we find. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. And inhale, use the strength of your arms to press yourself back upright. Tuck those left toes under and press back into downward facing dog. Releasing that right hip. Use 3-legged dog or just wag your tail a little bit, however you like to release from that. Inhale and exhale here. Inhale, lift that left leg up to the sky, really extending. And then exhale, bring the left leg in for pigeon on this side. So left knee goes outside the left wrist. Get that position set. Lift those shoulders, lift that heart, roll the shoulders back, look over each shoulder. And then settle ourselves down into sleeping pigeon on this side. Again, blocks, hands. The sides may be different, and that's okay. We have different energy channels. This is our lunar side, feminine side, our yin side. So we can take a few minutes, just breathe into what we find on this side. find it fascinating that some of the most complex architecture in our bodies is associated with our feet and hips and our shoulders. And those are the places that everybody just says, oh, just ground, oh, just live from your heart. And they're the most complex places where we do that. And so giving ourselves lots of grace and love as we endeavor to live lives in these ways. 2 more deep breaths here. Settling. Then use the strength of your arms to press yourself up again. Tuck those right toes, lift that bum to the sky. Here we are back in our final downward facing dog. Really lean into it, find that full expression. Heels press to the earth, hips lift into the sky and spread. Heart pressing down, shoulders, blades roll down and back. Tuck those ribs so they're integrated and release the head. Press into the palms, particularly at the base of that pointer finger. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, and we'll exhale our knees down to the earth. Try to bring them both to the earth at the same time, just for fun. And then sit back on those heels. Lift the chest. And find yourself in hero's pose. Hips want to be right in line with the shoulders, with the head. Place your hands, left hand in right, on your lap. And just taking a moment with ourselves as we transition and make our way to the earth. All right, let's go ahead and just get that bum to the earth however you like. Just kind of swing those legs around. Maybe find yourself in about the middle of your mat, so you've got some room on either side. Place the feet out in front on the earth. Make sure you've got some good connection with those sit bones. We'll travel down by my favorite method, a boat. Best way to travel. So lift that chest, roll those shoulders back, lean back, and then all of a sudden you'll feel it. Oh, I'm in the boat. All right, cool. So this is a perfectly lovely boat. You can even come out a little. You can lift one leg, lift the other leg. Maybe that feels good for both of them today. You want to even go crazier. Straighten one leg, straighten the other, straighten both. Keep that chest lifted, whichever way you find. And let's paddle a little bit, bring those hands to the center, then over to the left, over to the right. Again, try and keep that chest lifted. And then back to center. We'll slowly bring ourselves down to the earth with as much patience as we can muster. Once you get there, draw those knees into the chest, give them a good squeeze. Maybe roll side to side, giving that sacrum a little love. Then let's place both feet down to the earth so that you can feel your heels quite close to your rear. We're setting up for bridge pose. So press those feet again, all 4 corners into the earth. And slowly start to roll the pelvis and lift those vertebrae, 1 vertebrae at a time. Once you get to the shoulders, you can tuck the shoulders under and clasp the hands. You're also welcome to take a block and place that under your sacrum. Either way, we'll hang out in bridge here for just a few breaths, really lifting the core to the sky while we open our heart. And let that intention pour into our throat chakra. How does that intention affect what we listen to, what we let in, what we say, how we speak? On your next exhale, you can release that clasp of the arms, untuck the shoulder blades, and slowly roll down that back one vertebrae at a time. Once you come to the earth, bring those feet out wide to the side of the mat, knock your knees together, and windshield wiper, dropping those knees to one side and then the other. And then you can find stillness in the center there. Hug those knees into the chest. Again, kind of rocking side to side. Let's lift that left foot to the sky. Give it a little loving admiration. Wiggle those toes. Maybe curl your toes up into a tight ball and then try to spread them as wide as you can. Do that once or twice. Give that ankle a roll one way and then the other. And then leading with the heel, bring that foot leg all the way down to the earth. Once it reaches the earth, feel those arms and use the strength of those arms to rotate the hip around in the socket. One way and then the other. And let's bring the left hand to the left hip. Keep that hand on the right knee and open up that knee like a book to the right side. You can keep that foot flexed, and we're activating the inner line of that right thigh. Inhaling and exhaling here. On your next inhale, let's bring that knee in across the center. Pass it over to that left hand and draw it all the way over for a supine twist. You can bring that right arm out onto the earth with either a straight T arm or a cactus, whatever feels best on your shoulder today. Do try to keep that right shoulder on the earth. And then breathe up and down the spine as we twist. You're going to also turn that head to face the extended right arm to involve the cervical spine. Next inhale brings that knee back into center. Draw the other knee up into the chest. Give a little squeeze. Rock side to side to balance out that spinal column. And then let's bring that right foot up to the sky. It needs a little love as well. Again, wiggle those toes. Curl them into a tight ball and then spread them as wide as you can a couple times. We want our toes to stay real mobile and limber. And then give that ankle a roll one direction and then the other. And then draw that leg all the way to the earth. Give that left leg a good squeeze in, a little rotation around the hip socket, using the strength of your arms, one direction, and then the other. And then place that right hand on the right hip bone while you take that left hand on the knee and open the left leg out to the side. Feeling that activation in the inner line of the left leg. Inhale that leg back into the center, pass it over to the right hand and come into that supine twist, drawing the knee all the way across the body. Left arm can be out in a T or a cactus. Keep that left shoulder to the ground as best as you can. And you can turn your head to look to the left to bring that twist into the cervical spine. And then just breathe up and down Sushumna Nadi, the main energy channel. Uddiyana Pingala, line up and down either side, crisscrossing. Okay, on the next inhale, let's bring that knee back to the center. Again, draw both knees into the chest. One last good squeeze. So rock it away. And then we can settle ourselves into our final pose, Shavasana, where we get to relax down to the earth and allow integration. You can feel free to cover yourself, become as comfortable as you can. And we can just release all that we practiced, all that we intended. We can just be with it. It's all finished. We're in the here and the now. Feel your whole body relax. From the bottom of your feet, the tips of your toes, up through the long bones in your feet to your heel at the ankle, up the shin bone and calf into the knee, and up that big femur bone into the hips, relaxing all the bones and muscles into the floor. Up through the pelvic bowl, release everything there. Into the stomach and the belly and the low back, up through the ribs and the lungs, all the way around the rib cage, into the shoulders and down the arm bones, into the elbow, into the wrist, into the fingertips. Release back up to the shoulder, to the collarbones, to the neck, the throat, the cervical spine that comes at the back, base of the cranium where your spine meets your skull. You can relax there. Release your whole face, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, your third eye. Let your full side to the other. Let those movements become a little bigger and come into your ankles and your wrists. Maybe even reach your arms overhead for that full body stretch. Emerging for the second time today, waking up. And roll to one side or the other, coming into a fetal position. Just be here for a moment. Thank you, Pachamama, for holding us to this earth. And then when you're ready, gently press yourself up into a seat, but do keep the eyes closed and the gaze and focus internal for just a few more moments. We'll come back into a seated pose, similar to how we started the class today. And just be here for a moment. Observe your inner landscape, body, mind, heart, spirit. How does an hour of intention and movement and breath affect? Let's bring our hands to heart center. We'll chant Om Shanti 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 to close class today. Om peace, peace, peace. We'll do a cleansing inhale and exhale, and then we'll inhale to chant. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to chant. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The light in me honors and celebrates the light in each one of your beautiful souls. Namaste. Happy blessings as you go into your day. Of course. Yeah, thank you guys for joining and for being here. What a good way to start it out. We do it every morning here at Karma, Monday through Friday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Corey teaches on Tuesdays. She's great.
I don't live here, but whenever I come to visit or work, and I come.
Yay! I love that. We'll be anyone's yoga studio away from home. Yes, we love that. Do you travel here a good bit for work?
Yeah, this time it was for sick medical because my teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I did my teacher training from Karma too.
Oh, so you know about that.
I love it.
Yeah, that's so great.
So I was so happy. Like home away from home.
Yes, that's the best.
Yes. And it's always fun whenever I go someplace to visit a studio, you know.
See what the vibe
It
is, what they're
is.
doing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. Karma has a unique vibe for sure.
Oh, Karma's great.
Yeah.
This is my favorite.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's so fun.
Thank you, online yogis.
Thank you. What I love about Karma too,